Welcome to the third video in our 20-minute series. We'll get started today. We're going to begin standing. So if you want to come to the top of your mat and let's come to stand in Tadasana. I might turn to face you this way, but if you want to be at the top of your mat, and we'll just take our feet to about hip distance. And you can just rest your arms down and maybe just start off by just rocking gently forward and back. And I just want you to feel into the balls of the feet, so the tops of the feet just below the toes, as well as feel into the heels. And rocking sort of from one to the other initially, but then allowing yourself to just simply start to slow this movement so that you start to feel like the weight is even between the ball of the foot and the heel until you eventually come to stop. And as you press down through the four corners of your foot, both feet, allow yourself to just kind of draw up through the legs. So like a straw, just kind of drink up from the earth into the legs and really engage the thighs and the knees. And you can lengthen through the spine. So as you press down through the feet, draw up through the legs and let that travel up into the torso and lengthen into the spine. And at the same time though, keeping the shoulders relaxing down from the ears, the arms resting down towards the floor, and then simply close the eyes down. And allow yourself to feel like this really beautiful contrast between that gentle activation of those cues, but at the same time a softness. How can we be both kind of really aware of the body and how we're standing, but also at the same time sort of softening into it, a little bit like if there was an outline for a puzzle piece where you know the edges are firm, but your body just really easily and neatly fits into that place. So let the awareness do that. Just snuggle in. And then also just start to feel below the surface of the skin. And let's just take a couple of breaths like this. So just easing into the breath, just feeling the inhale rise up from the belly into the heart and chest and upper back. And then the exhale just moving from the back and chest and heart and back to the belly. And just a couple more breaths like this, feeling the inhale really give your body this lift that it needs, this expansion. And feel the exhale again, like that softening down into the puzzle piece, softening down into the outline on the exhale. So again, this beautiful contrast between rising up, expanding, opening to our practice that's about to take place, but then also just a gentle softness, getting rid of all the sharp edges on the body. And you can start to open your eyes, and from the top of your mat, let's take this a little bit further. We'll take that next inhale and let the breath rise up through the belly and into the chest as the arms float all the way overhead, and then exhale and take the hands down in namaste, down to the heart. And let's just do one more here like that. Inhale, rising up through the arms, and then exhaling, feeling the softness come over the body. And this time inhale and rise up. And then as you exhale, take the hands just to the back of the head. So just resting on the back of the head, and you can let the heart lift here. And then on the exhale, you can tuck the chin in and maybe move the elbows towards touching. And just move with breath like this. This inhale, again, expansion and open. And on the exhale, just drawing in through the elbows, tucking the chin, rounding the spine. And let again the breath that lifts us and expands, let the arms be an extension of that and open up. And then as you exhale and soften in, allow the belly to draw back towards the spine. And this time coming back into neutral, and we'll release the hands and just come to a nice forward fold here, coming all the way down. Let the half lift rise you to lengthen the spine. Exhale and fold, and bend the knees quite a bit as you step back with the right leg here. And we're just going to stay here in this nice low lunge, and just taking a moment to just sort of maybe bouncing a little into the hips before coming into plank as we plant the hands and step to plank. And then lowering down, keep pressing into the floor as you lower the body down as all the way. You could be on the knees here if you want to, and then inhale and rise up, expand here through the heart and chest. And exhale down, tuck in the toes, and let's rise up here through a half or full push-up, and then exhale, downward facing dog. So again, just taking a moment here, feet about hip distance. And we're just simply going to walk ourselves all the way to the top of the mat. And when we get there, we'll take this inhale to lengthen into the spine. And then exhale to soften back down. And let's bend the knees here and slide the hands up the leg as we come up through a spinal roll. Let the shoulders roll all the way back. Lift through the heart, send the arms up, inhale. Good, exhale. Let's take another one of those. Sun salute A, inhale and lengthen. Exhale and fold. Planting the hands, bending the knees. This time the left leg goes back, and allow yourself again this runner's lunge, and just a gentle pulse here in the hips as you lift up and pulse back down. Before planting the hands and stepping back into plank. Good, press the earth away as you exhale and lower down. Inhale and lift up into your back bend. Good, exhale to the earth, tucking the toes and rising up through knees or full push up, and exhale into downward facing dog. Good, let's just take an extra breath this time. So 2 breaths here. Let the feet be hip distance. And as you inhale from the earth through the hands and up into the shoulders, allow that breath to not only broaden the shoulders out to the edges of your mat, but also lift up that space between the shoulder blades. Lift it up towards the sky. Good. As you exhale, let's walk ourselves all the way to the top of the mat, and inhale to lift and exhale to fold. And this time bending the knees here. Press down into the feet as you rise up through a reverse swan. Arms to the sky overhead, and then exhale and soften the hands back into the heart. And then let's move again. This time, little variation, inhale. Exhale and fold. Good, inhale and lengthen. Exhale and fold, and again bending the knees, and this time sending the right leg back. And we'll drop the knee down this time and inhale and breathe the arms up. Good, and then as you exhale, just again softening down the edges of the body. So allowing yourself to feel expansion and openness through the front of the chest, but at the same time an ease as you just settle the shoulders down. Allow your breath to be quite natural here. And on the exhale, you can release the arms to the earth, and we'll just start to rock back here and lengthen into that front leg. Ardha Hanumasana, our half splits. Breathing and starting to slowly edge the body forward, and again planting the hands, tucking the toe to lift the knee, and inhale the leg back into plank. Exhale to the earth. Stay here as we release the hands and find Salabhasana as you inhale and rise up through the chin and the chest and the feet and the thighs. Good, and then exhale and lower it all down, bringing the hands underneath the shoulders here. Inhale up and exhale, find your downward facing. Good, and another breath here. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. Let's take that right leg that we stepped back and inhale and lengthen it up. Good, and then as you exhale, just a tiger curl here, draw in and feel how we can be really activated, but at the same time, just kind of soften into this curl. And then inhale to expand and lengthen through that leg. And then exhale, and we'll step that through to the front of the mat. We'll drop that knee down again and rise up, inhale. Good, and then exhale and allow that sort of blanket of softness to just fall on the body. So again, this open heart, open chest, as well as again pressing down into the four corners of the feet, activating that front leg. And then just easily slip yourself in with the exhale, softening down. Releasing the hands either side of the foot here, and draw the legs straight as you send the hips back. And again, the gaze is down, feeling a softness, maybe a little bit of ease. You could use your blocks here to find greater ease. And then start to walk the hands forward and bend into the knee, tuck that toe. We'll recoil to the top of the mat. Take an inhale here and lengthen halfway. And then exhale and fold back here into the earth. And then stay here. Now, if you've got a block, you could use the block here. But let's plant down our left finger pads. So you could be high on the finger pads here. Otherwise, hand on your block. And we'll bend into that left knee and send the right arm to the sky. So bending into the left knee, straight into the right leg. And again, if it doesn't feel good to look up, you could look to your feet or your fingers. Otherwise, you could gaze up here. And again, feel this expansion here. Let's take a breath and let the breath travel from the heart all the way out to the fingers on both ends. And let the exhale then lower the hand down. And as it lowers down, feel the softness as you almost kind of curl in. Both knees slightly bent here as we transition to the other side. So planting the right finger pads. Bending into the right knee, and then breathing up the left hand. Gaze is up or down, but again, allow yourself to take an inhale and feel the inhale travel out to the edges of the fingers on both hands. And then let the exhale draw down and curl you in, and from here we'll rise up through this spinal roll, coming all the way. You can roll the shoulders back, lift through the heart, and we'll finish it by breathing the arms up and exhaling the hands down here into namaste. And inhaling again, breathing, inhale, expanding the breath out and up, and then exhale as you swan dive down. Good, take a half lift and lengthen through the spine, and then exhale and fold. Beautiful. This time we'll send the left leg back, and then let's stay high on the knee this round. Breathe the arms up, inhale. Good, and then as you exhale, let's take that same position with the hands just resting on the back of the head. And when you're ready, we'll just let the in-breath lift through the heart here. So as the heart expands up, allow yourself to broaden the elbows. But rather than, even though we're coming into a gentle crescent in the back, rather than really sort of arching the back, let it be about expansion through the front body instead. Good, and then as you exhale, we'll just take one of these, draw the elbows in and the chin down. And then releasing the hands to the earth here and stepping into plank. Inhale, exhale. Good, stay here again. This time, bringing the hands either side. And coming into Shalabhasana again, but this time, as you lift up, allow your arms to, or your palms to face forward. And again, feeling broad through the front body rather than focusing on the back bend. And then slowly lengthening the spine all the way back to the earth. You could take a moment here with your cheek to the earth before slowly making your way back into downward facing dog, tucking the toes, rising up, and then exhale, sending the hips up and back. 2 breaths here. How can we expand on that inhale through downward facing dog? We'll again let the breath breathe up through the arms from the earth, and then feel how the shoulder blades, the tips of the shoulder blades can move back around the edges of the body. So sending the tips of the shoulder blades to almost tuck under the armpits and then lift through that space between the shoulder blades. And then let's take the left legs to the sky. Inhale, expand and lengthen through that leg. And then exhale and tiger curl in. Inhale again. And then as you exhale, softly landing that front foot, rise up. Good. As you exhale, we'll clasp the fingers and take the hands behind the head. So again, let it be this activation through the legs. So as we did in that first Tadasana, really feel the 4 corners of your foot connect, because it can really help with your balance. Activate that front leg. And then let the in-breath lift through the chest into this little crescent, the elbows broad, the collarbone broad, rather than the full, compression into the lower back. Good, and then exhale and curl in, tuck the chin, the elbows, and then releasing and taking your hands to the earth. Let's stay down here nice and low. We'll bring our feet back into plank and soften the knees down. And then let's take our knees wide, bring the hips back, and just allow yourself to come into child's pose. Perhaps again, broadening by sending the elbows wide, making a little pillow to rest your forehead on. And just simply letting more softness here than expansion, allowing your breath to ease. Maybe feeling like that space you've created between the legs is this beautiful opportunity for the belly, not only to expand on the in-breath, but simply a place for it to be natural, soft, no engagement. And then starting to slowly rise up, bringing the knees together and coming to lay down, letting yourself come easily down and curling yourself here up into a little ball before letting the feet come all the way to the earth. And again, just sending the arms open into a beautiful T. And we'll just take this little shuffle of the hips to the right as we slowly lower the knees down to the left. And again, just allowing softness through the body here, soft in the belly. Sometimes we can feel a real holding in twists. Can you just allow the neck and the shoulders and the jaw, these places where we're habitually quite tense, to just find that softness in the end of this class. And then moving back through center and shuffling the hips again to the other side and lowering the knees down, letting your gaze go the opposite direction if that feels good. And again, letting the lower back twist here not tighten us further, not allow us to hold even more, but simply to find a little bit of relief and release. And then back into center here, and you can bring the arms in and shuffle back into the middle of your mat as you lengthen out and turn the palms to face up. And I'm going to leave you here. I encourage you, if you can, stay a few minutes at least in Shavasana, but we've come to our 20 minutes, so I want you to feel free just to take that 1 minute to really integrate the postures into the body and get up when you need to. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.